Well, I can't wait for this Saturday's No Kings rally here in Orlando at City Hall. You know, a lot of people say to me, they say, "Well, what good is No Kings anyway? What does it actually do? How does it actually help anything?" Well, the first person to help will be you, because when you go down to No Kings, number one, you're just surrounded in this cloud of positivity, of people who are just like you, who want to see this craziness, this MAGA Trump inspired craziness. They want it to end. They want the chaos to end. They want common sense to return to our society and to our government. So what good does No Kings do? No Kings does a lot of good. You know, as much as Trump will pretend it doesn't do any good, as much as the people pretend it doesn't do any good, they keep a close eye on No Kings because they can see the population is not supporting what they're doing. The population is just shocked by what's going on, and they want it to end. They want the criminality to end. They want the corruption to end. They want the meanness to end. None of this makes America better. All of this does is make America worse. No Kings is about the people who go to No Kings, and you know, Trump calls and he says, well, he says, all you people go to No Kings. I mean, you know, you're all maniacs. You're all radicals. I am a radical. I'm proud to be a radical. Radicals are the people who signed the Declaration of Independence. Radicals are the people who saw something that was wrong and chose to do something about it. People talk about patriotism. There's nothing more patriotic in America than being a radical. Remember, the signers of the Declaration of Independence were people who in 1776 said no to the British Crown, said no, we do not want to be ruled by a monarch on the other side of the ocean. We want to rule ourselves. We want to have fundamental rights. That's what the whole thing is about. So you see these people out here waving flags and you know, with their gas and flags in their cars and stuff like that. You know, you don't have to be a soldier or a flag waver to be a patriot. You're a patriot by simply standing up and saying, we need to have the rights that are laid out in the Constitution. That's being wiped away, and that's what No Kings is all about. If No Kings, if those coming together, all those people, not just here in Orlando, but across the country, in small towns, in medium towns, and stuff like that, if it didn't do any good, you know, if they weren't paying attention to it in Washington, why do you think that, you know, so many of the cabinet members, they are so scared of the people who they're supposed to be serving that they have moved from their regular homes to military bases for protection? You only do that in dictatorships. You know, No Kings is a completely non-violent movement. The only people who bring violence are the people in the federal government, like the ICE agents and people like that. You know, we want to have a government that we the people, you know, it says in the Constitution, we the people. It says, you know, in the Declaration of Independence, that we the people run, is accountable to we the people, and not people who are enriching themselves and doing mean things to people. So if you go to a No Kings event, what you're going to find is you're going to find a lot of people who are just old heads like me, young people, people in the middle, people who said, enough of the craziness. We need to get our country back on some frame of sanity that's following the law. You know, these people talk about law and order. They're talking about lynch mob justice. You know, we want law and order that is laid out in our Constitution, which is the bedrock of all laws. These people are trying to erase this stuff. So you go to No Kings, you think of No Kings, you know, if people weren't paying attention to No Kings, do you think that Kristi Noem would have lost her job? Do you think that the ICE agents in Minnesota would not, in LA and other places, would not have backed down? It's because regular people going out to the street and saying, no, not in our name, we're not going to allow you to do this. So No Kings is about standing up for fundamental values that are laid out in the Constitution. When you go there, you will feel so empowered. You'll feel so happy to be among other people who you realize that you're not insane. That all kinds of people around you of every different, you know, race, creed, citizens, non-documented people, whatever, all out there for the same common purpose. And so I really encourage you. You know, No Kings in Orlando is going to be at Orlando City Hall from 12 noon until 2 o'clock. If you're leaving other places and you see this video, you can find out where your closest No Kings event is going to be by going to NoKingsDo.org. Please spread the word. Please stand up with us. Thank you very much. And by the way, before I go, fuck Donald Trump, fuck ICE. Let's stand up for America. No kings.